Well, this is my birthplace in Banitsa, and here we have Alexander to take some pictures of us, and we continue from the Nedelka family. And so this is our life. As a young boy, this is the way we used to live it. Look it up. Banitsa was the most strategic village in the area here, in the
whole
Lerinsko, because the stands in the middle of the two highways. Every war came through from the Turkish Empire, through the Italian War to the
It was the only road
Civil
to
War. Everything was posted in here because they have to pass through, regardless where they go, they have to pass through the village. Well, according to my mom, some of the people are born in the farm, but this is their home. I was born in that right there. And this one on the side, Tetalica was born there. You know Tetalica Strejos? Was born in that house, and this is Bajetasis. Do you know about the Kyriakou Bachetas, the one that amputated the leg? And that was the part of that. And then they built the rest of the houses there. My soccer field was just behind this tree. Every night we were doing the soccer right in that field. And my dado Lipe says, "Get out, Tepa, we better come and work."
work in the field.
This was the richest village in the area. They produced lots of coal, and then we used to do lots of limestone. That's the mine, which is I work underground, but now they digging for the coal, but they've been bankrupt for 10 years now. They're fighting to reopen that mine, and that was disaster actually for the town. Most of the business was coming from the coal mine, but now it's been shut for about 10, 11 years, and now the Micho and the rest, they try to reopen it, and very soon I hope they do.
They succeed.
This house was my father's first wife, which is he died 90s, not even 6-7 months soon as they get married, he died. We're gonna see it later on in the cemetery. That was his first wife from this house. And the back of me was the distillery, which is every household you have to get a permit, and of course to make a little rikia. And that's how we never bought riki or whiskey. This is was homemade rikia.
From our own grapes.
The moonshine, what we call
From
it.
our own grapes.
Yeah. And this house here is Philippa's wife.
Mary's mother and father.
They were born in Germany, but the father came and built this house. And this house, they used to live. All the girls, they used to sit in the night and they were singing. Unbelievable! You could hear them all over the town, for Macedonia and Greek, whatever they would choose to. When I used to go from my shop or going home, you love to come to this door and hear these girls, mostly girls, singing at night.
Tell me about this house.
This house, they used to live 4 or 5 girls, and they had one son. And they were all happy in those days. Yeah, there were, I can't remember now, 4 or 5 sisters and 1 brother.
Who was the family?
Family Kalpakis. No, Kalpaki, eh? Yeah, Blaji Kalpaki.
They came to Toronto or no?
Yes, they are in Toronto. Oh, some are in Australia. Some are in Australia. But the brother is in Toronto. We know him very well.
This is my best friend. O kalitros filos to Huryo. We grew up as a young kids, and here we see again in Banitsa, baby. His name is Perikli.
Perikli?
Perikli.
Ti kažeš si? Ладно, керази κάτι γιατί ένα καφέ θα πιει πριν.
I'm so emotional in this spot. This is how my life started as a little barber, like the guy described me as a little barber from Banitsa. And this was my first steps as a businessman. I was only 16 years old. And of course the different picture on the back, but that was a Paul George Kyriakou sign. And when my grandfather used to come here, he was a 5'5", he used to walk 10 feet tall. My grandson, the businessman. Well, I never look back, as I describe later, but believe me, this is how my life started, from this little place here. Well, that time we used to have like a military, but every household, some of them, they trust them, they used to give a gun. And one of the guys, I say, I need a gun too. So because he knew me, he gave me the gun up in the further up, and the police station was right in that house there, and they took it away from me.
You're too young.
And they say they accusing me as a communist, as he didn't deserve a gun. And that's my life. One morning in 1947, I was only 7 years old. The fascist government, they accused us as a part like a communist, I don't know why. They went and grabbed us from our home, and we all came to this area here, hundreds of families. And as soon as they regroup and they chasing us out of the village, we don't want you here. So we travel as more, probably maybe 15-20 kilometers in the mountains, in the rivers. So we went to Neveska, which is one of the town in the Greek is Fano. And then Paichemitsa, which happens to be my father's brother, he returned us back. As soon as we returned, secretly came to the village without the fascists know, because we came back. Somehow they found out my grandmother, and they sent them back towards the Republic of Macedonia. But my father and my grandfather, they took to the south of the Greek jails in the islands. So they didn't want to send a force to the partisans up in the Democratic Army, but only children and mothers and grandmothers, they chased us away. And this was the area which is we regrouped. Not only us, like I said, many families, and that was the most unspeakable what the fascist government did to us. About this home, we used to hear about this person, Dinkata Katin. And now last night we walked with my friends, and this is the house of Dinkata Katin. Unbelievable. We always hear, this guy was a revolutionary, or I don't know, something, or mayor, but they call him everything, says he's like a Dinchina.
He was well-to-do in those days.
Well-to-do in those days, yeah. And funny thing, after all these years, I find out where's the home of Dinkata Katin.
That was the father of my grandmother's friend, Magda.
This is the Popo Bisha. We used to play lots of fun. Look, as soon as you touch them, look at that will jump. Look at it. See? I go in the spirits like the Popo Bisha.
See?
Oh, bubble.
I got you.
Hey, look at it, huh?
Yeah, why? You know who's going to go there. my beloved Bresto.
Well, this one, me and my beloved wife here, Litsa, when we were engaged, I used to go and see her, and all the Baba was sitting over here. I was so shy. I was waiting until they go home.
There was a big tree here. All the youngsters we used to come here and play.
And a little further up, you'll see Baba's pallet.
Here, we'll have Baba talking.
Okay.
This was my, up until I was 15 years old, we lived in this neighborhood. We're going further up to my house now. And this was the only road, it still is, to go home, in and out. I used to be scared that I would come up to this point, I would say, Babo, Mamo! So they would come and get
the
me.
roads are terrible, like even when I walk with the nice shoes, by the time I go to Nedelkui, it will be, especially at night, no lights, no nothing. But we manage it somehow. And now as you go in the first house to the left is Baba's house.
This was Baba Kira's house.
Well, this is Baba's house. And believe me or not, that was the first kiss I did to Baba there in that veranda up there. And this is again, this is our lifestyle, me and Baba together. And actually, I'm going to kiss her once more. Yeah, then, like I said, this is very emotional for both of us, special for Baba seeing this.
I was actually born in that house there where the car is. There's an old house. And he tore it down because it wasn't livable anymore. And everybody was born there, 10 children, and the 2 brothers. And then in 1955, my dad built that house, and 2 years later he came to Canada. And then I followed with Baba Luba and my sister Triana.
Si posadi baba, si posadi baba, si posadi baba, triponi esver, mi se kaili baba, mi se kaili baba, mi se kaili baba, kake oposhni
He's gonna come. Oh my goodness.
This is all...
Look at what this
used to
guy,
be,
single-handed this guy had. It's unbelievable looking. That's his life. He's a pensioner. He works all day here. He never goes to the cafe, and he travels to Florida, and that's where he lives,
He lives a very productive life.
Productive life. He told me last night he found a grave right here, and nobody knows whose grave was that. Right in this
unknown soldier or
unknown
whatever.
Soldier, I think. In the First or the Second World War, lots of Australian soldier, and now as we go up, you're gonna see they digging to find the souls, the bones and so on. We're on top of the world here. We're on top of the world. You can see the background.
This is Bujania.
This is Bujania and Gornamala. We're the
And
Dolnamala,
Gornamala.
we're the lower people of the Banitsa.
We're the Gornamala.
Yeah.
The trees were very, very little when I was growing up here. Now they're big trees,
Look
so
at the Banitsa.
it's very emotional.
And in the back of that's a graveyard. You can see the one.
Jedotsko devojče iz Kašarena, Ogradina nagarana.
When I was a little boy, I think 7 or 8 years old, the few partisans they got killed here in the mountain, they brought them in the village, and me, I was holding the dead's wagon, and we went and buried them right on the top of that hill. And we didn't know which children were there. Probably the mothers or the grandmothers, they're still looking, but I wish I'll remember exactly where are they, so because they won't bury them in the cemetery because they were partisans, and me and grandfather, we buried them right up in the hill, right in there. And it's really, really emotional. Really. Yeah, that's life again.
These are very
Look,
emotional.
The village is so beautiful from here, so beautiful. I mean, many people, unfortunately, the village is divided in this damn politics and what we, financially, they are very, very in a bad situation. What I heard and I saw myself, I don't know what they're gonna do, because I'm talking about my family like Micho and Yorgos and other. They used to be on top of the world and now they're struggling because of the government cut all the wages, almost quarter of their
well,
wages.
the whole country is suffering.
The whole country, but special them, and no jobs.
The young ones come out of school, no jobs.
We've been very, very, very happy all these things. We had such a wonderful time, and we're never going to forget as long as we live in this. This is our heart. Even we live in Canada, but somehow where you're born, you never forget, regardless or bad or good. In this village, we didn't have running water, no electricity, no toilet, like we used to go out, but we
no
survived.
furnaces in the home.
No
We used
furnace.
to pick wood from here to
Sometimes no wood.
light up our the little stove we had.
The blankets, they're so heavy, they're gonna suffocate you, but just to keep you,
Warm.
just to keep you warm. In the winter time, sometimes even you walk with the bare feet. We didn't care. That's our life was. And the most disaster happened in the Civil War, on the uprising of the Democratic against the fascists, and that's half of the village now lives in the Republic of Macedonia. But many of the people they haven't come back to see their homes, which is inside here, demolished or destroyed, whatever you call it. So that's part of our life.
Well, we made it this far. Thank you, Alan.
Well, again, I'm repeating myself. This is the first time I met. Come this way, Elizabeth, so I can see you right there.
The scholar was this way.
And that's the first time I met Baba there,
The scholar
also,
was
which is
this
my wife Elizabeth,
Litsa.
Litsa Abua. And that, believe me, that was the first kiss I was doing right there, right there.
How do you remember? I don't remember anything.
I remember that very good. And I was nervous as I could be. And here we are again, I'm not lying. This is the honest truth.
Well, this wasn't here then. The stairs were this way. Stairs were this way. We had 2 rooms in there. Come and see. Maybe inside we can get something. So there were 2 rooms here. One there, one here, and this one here. This one here. This was like a storage, wasn't finished yet. But this was, we had the soba here. The soba.
What's the soba? Stove?
Stove, like a cooking stove, and also with wood to coal we used to use. And here, Kari took this apart with his father, and we used to sleep here, in this room. At that time it looked very big. Now it looks so small. Yeah. Teta Teresa, my sister, with Baba they slept here, and my mom and I slept here. See, you can see where the wall was. Yeah. Go big, Kari.
Did your father build this house?
Yeah, my dad.
With himself?
My dad. No, he had.
Built?
But he did some of the things himself. Something. My dad wasn't a builder, but he was like the stucco. He did himself.
Yeah.
See how they used to do it then, Alex? Look, there was no insulation, just the stucco, and then you paint.
Was it
The blue.
Was it cold in the winter?
Cold, yeah. We have the stove here
All the time it has to run.
all the time, and the door would be open, and no heat in that room. But when the door was open, they would put warm up the bricks on top of the stove, and then we put them on our feet. That was the work. Everybody, not just us.
Yeah.
Everybody did that. And we're all born in that house there.
Which one?
It was existing. You know where the stones are there, where the car is?
Yeah.
There was a house, a big house. It was a big house. So all of us were born there. Babaluba had 6 kids and Babadola had 5. 9 of us were born here, and in there, and this underneath. But very short time I remember living here. Most of the time we lived here.
This is Babaluba's house. You know who's Babaluba? That's where I used to live with another 2 ladies there. Actually 4 people, they used to live in this house. And every time when I pass here, my heart is broken. That's why she lived with me for 40 years. And she was happy to be with people just like you know how Baba raised you most of the time. And so, but look at when I said, this is how Babaluba. Well, this is the graves from we've seen some names here from early 1800 to until today. And some of the peoples I don't remember, but I heard about the names and we tried to take a shot, and I'm gonna try to take as many as possible. And here's my grandfather's grave further up. As we go, we're gonna take shot. And believe me or not, I always wanted in my life to be buried here, but unfortunately I won't be buried here, of course, due to immigrate to Canada and all my children and grandchildren is there, so my wish wouldn't be come through, because I always thought I wanted to be buried in this cemetery. Okay, Barbara. And that's it. First cousin's son. He got killed in an accident, car accident. This gentleman here, it's Dimitrios Gogos. We grew up together as a youngster. Unfortunately, he was blind due to accident, and one hand was amputated. He was a wonderful, wonderful gentleman. This grave is my grandfather and my grandmother, and the reason I am so success in my life because of this gentleman here. My grandfather was in the States in 1936 in the Depression when he came here to Banitsa, and he said to my father, we're gonna send this guy to learn a trade. And here I become a barber, from barber hairstylist, just because of this Dedo Lipe Nedelkov Kiriakou. And that his wife Baba Sofia. And my Dedo, God bless you. Thank you very much. This one, no, we don't know when is this built. This is maybe 1,000 years old. And this graves is military graves, like army got killed here. Many, probably, I don't know if it's any name, but mostly the military has been buried here. And I haven't been here probably 25, 30 years. I didn't come last time here, but I'm glad I brought you here so we can see. Okay, indeed. This is Krishanti, the Gogo, and Aristides Gogo's wife. And she's the one who took care of my friend for almost 50 years. No other person will do what this lady did. Believe me, no other person will do what she did. If it's God, there should be watch at this lady. Take care.
Δύο χρόνια κοντά.
Τι του λέω, άμα είναι ο Θεός, αυτό πρέπει να κάνει. This is my oldest brother. I've been seeing him for the last 10 years. I know he's very sad because I'm living here, but whatsoever, I promise him I'll be back again and we'll be healthy as I promised him too. And I did say, му каждам, ότι και се върнам пак и да видам без друго. Преговори нещо, преговори нещо, това е го рекордва.
Много се израдва, че дой брат ми се види. Това има много добър път на умиша.
Споделихте много. This is all about. And now we all got together here tonight as a family. A couple of people is missing, but too bad. They shouldn't have been here. So we're gonna, every time when I come here, we always celebrate the last day.
This is the last night.
Да, всеко когато се гледаме от Канада, го правим това на celebration, не знам какво да се постеле, са некака ли песто? Лен, я. И така вано ще поминем баво да се види, да го помниме за век. And that's it. Alex, this is my last night here. I'm celebrating the Yaakov family. And this is the one you said before, 10 years ago. I was speaking what you did 10 years ago. Believe me, that was the first kiss I was doing right there.
How do you remember it?
Right, I remember that very good. And believe me, and I never look back. And I'm really glad I met you, Baba. I might joke, but believe me, we had a wonderful life. I brought so many grandchildren in our life. And believe me, I'm the happiest grandfather ever. That's all.